I want to talk about something that a lot of people have asked my opinion on, and that is Saul Canelo Alvarez a true middleweight? Now, we all know last June he beat Miguel Cotto to win the WBC middleweight title, and that fight was fought at 155-pound catchweight. Now, the title was only on the line for Alvarez, and it was not on the line for Cotto because Cotto refused to pay the sanctioning fee to the WBC, so the title was declared vacant. But nevertheless, the fight was fought at 155-pound catchweight. And when Cotto was champion, he beat Sergio Martinez at 159-pound catchweight, which the fight was contracted at. And he made his first defense against Daniel Geale at another catchweight fight at 157 pounds. So this middleweight title, the WBC middleweight title, since 2014, since Cotto fought for it and won it, has been having all their title fights at catchweights. So it's never been yet for these last 2 years at 160 pounds, which the middleweight limit is. And also, Saul Canelo Alvarez will make his first defense, as everyone knows, against Amir Khan at 155-pound catchweight. Now, this is a little complicated here, or the story gets a little bit hairy, because Khan had said that he wanted the fight at 154 and Canelo wanted it to be at 155, and Canelo said that he wanted the fight to be at 154 but Khan wanted it at 155. Nevertheless, whoever is telling the truth, regardless, this fight is going to be fought at 155-pound catchweight for the middleweight title. And, you know, going back to Cotto had said on several occasions that he didn't believe he was a true middleweight, but yet he still decided to hold on to the WBC middleweight title, and the WBC itself had no problem allowing him to defend that title even after him saying those words, and even after, you know, fighting in 2 catchweight fights. And now they're allowing Alvarez to do the same thing, and they're claiming that it's not their place to decide how the fight contracts are drawn up, and, you know, whatever the fighters agree to, they agree to. But, you know, fighters have complained about this in the past. Gennady Golovkin wanted to fight Canelo and still wants to fight Canelo, but he's being told that their fight will be at 155-pound catchweight, and he's not happy about that. And I believe if, you know, Canelo does beat Khan and they try to negotiate with Golovkin, I believe that's going to be a sticking point for that fight to get made. So to answer the question, obviously the way Canelo Alvarez has been behaving lately, it doesn't seem like he is a true middleweight, and Cotto admitted he wasn't a true middleweight. So judging by, you know, the series of events that have taken place over the last 2 years, it seems as though that this title, to me, has been somewhat tainted, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of catchweights. I don't really complain about them too much, but I'm particularly not a fan of them when it comes to title fights, and most fans out there do agree with me. But at the end of the day, who do we blame here? Because I think the sanctioning bodies need to step in, and they need to enforce some rules. Now, if both parties agree to it, yeah, I understand, okay, let it go through. But on several occasions in the past, these catchweights have been a stumbling block in, you know, certain title fights. And it looks like it's going to be, as I said, a stumbling block for Canelo versus Golovkin if that fight does ever arise and they do try to make that fight and go through with the negotiations. So in my opinion, you know, Canelo hasn't been behaving like a true middleweight. Cotto hasn't behaved like a true middleweight while he held that title. And the WBC is somewhat allowing all of these things to go on, and I think it's making a farce right now of the middleweight title. I hate to use those strong words, and I hate to be overly critical of the WBC because I love boxing, and WBC has been, you know, a sanctioning body that has done a lot for the sport. And some may argue they've done a lot wrong for the sport too, but I think overall, I think the good has outweighed the bad, and a lot of fighters do hold that title in high regard, and they look at that title as being the title to fight for in boxing. So with all that being said, judging by what I've seen, no, Canelo isn't a true middleweight. And I think it's up to the WBC to really step in, and it's up to a lot of these sanctioning bodies out there to set some rules and put forth some rules and say, hey, you know what? In title fights, the fighters have a right to demand that the title be fought at that weight limit that the title is for. And I don't think catch weights should be mandated by a particular party in a title fight. And I don't think the WBC should allow them to mandate a particular catch weight in a title fight if it's for a title. So that's just my opinion. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if Canelo does win and he does start to negotiate with Golovkin, what the WBC is going to do if the fight can't be made and it falls apart. Will the WBC strip Canelo as they said they would? Will they abide by that 14-day window where he has to decide whether he's going to fight Golovkin or not? Will they strip him? That's going to be the interesting thing. That's going to be the proof, and the proof is going to be in the pudding right there, and it's going to let us know how credible the WBC is, at least in this situation, on handling this particular fight. Well, man, that's my opinion on it. That's all I got to say. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debate in the comment section here about this fight and about Canelo. So just give me your thoughts. I'd like to hear it. And that's all I got for right now. Till next time, talk to y'all soon. Peace.